Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to look at the McFarlane DC Multiverse Justice League Task Force Platinum variants. This is the entire wave. We have Platinum Chase variants of Superman, The Flash, Aquaman, Batman, and if you find all four of the Platinum Chase variants, you get to collect to build a Platinum version of Darkseid. Now these are in ridiculous colors, bright red or blue colors. I believe in the game, this is sort of when you would power up and you would look like this. This is the first time McFarlane has ever done a Platinum Chase Build-A-Figure. The closest thing we ever got was the Arkham City Gold Label Build-A-Figure, like black and white version of Solomon Grundy, but that's not quite the same thing. Typically when there's a Platinum Chase variant in a Build-A-Figure wave, they just come with the same parts. This is something unprecedented, and I don't know if I want them to continue, because it's not easy to collect all four of these figures. To my knowledge, these have only shown up at GameStop, not Target or Walmart yet. And my GameStops suck around here. I've hit 2 or 3 GameStops pretty continuously, and the only thing I've ever seen is a regular Batman and a regular Superman. I want to give a huge shout out to everyone that helped me get these. Shout out to Captain Nemo from Instagram for getting the Platinum Aquaman and Flash for me. Shout out to Hal Jordan from Instagram for getting me the Platinum Superman. And then shout out to both Marvin Lee and M. Stegall from YouTube. Drop me a comment, we worked something out. They helped me get the 2 different Batman figures. And yes, I got 2 of the Batman figures, as you know, one of which to open and enjoy, the other one to keep in my complete Batman-related unopened action figure collection. So, huge thank you and shout out to all you guys. Appreciate the toy community, really cool people out there, people to help each other out. Thank you so much. I don't think I would have ever found these by myself. I haven't seen a single one. I haven't even seen all the regular ones yet. When they hit Target or Walmart, it might be a different story, but thank you guys. Looking forward to putting the Platinum Darkseid together. So here's the front of the package. As you can see, each of the figures has Darkseid parts, and they have 2 different sort of energy effects from the video game, and each one has a Platinum Chase variant sticker on it, as well as some ugly stickers that GameStop slapped on there. And then here's the back of the package. You can see an image from Justice League Task Force with these 5 characters and instructions how to build the figure. Now, Justice League Task Force was a Super Nintendo video game. It's like a fighting game, and it was not very successful. It's really weird and odd, obscure they would make a wave from this. But I kind of like it. I think it's pretty cool. They're all the 90s versions of these figures. So with no further ado, let's open them up and build that Platinum Darkseid and compare them with a ton of other action figures. And like I said before, I have 2 of these Platinum Batman figures. One to open, one to keep unopened. Thanks again, Marvin Lee and M. Stegall. And here's both the Platinum and regular versions of Batman. They're going to go into my unopened collection. Alright, now that we have these figures out of the package, here they are with all their accessories laid out. Each of the figures has a collector's card, a display stand, 2 energy effects, Aquaman has a trident, and each figure has a piece of the Platinum version of Darkseid. In this video, we're going to take a look at each of the figures individually. We'll check out their accessories, height, and articulation, and we'll compare them with a bunch of other figures. Before we do that, let's get Darkseid built together. So the first piece of Darkseid are his legs, and they come with the red Superman. And the second piece of Darkseid is his torso. That comes with the Flash. Assemble those 2 pieces, and he's starting to come together. And then the third figure, Aquaman, comes with Darkseid's head and hands. Here's Darkseid with his head attached. And then finally, we have Batman, who comes with Darkseid's arms. And then, bam, you have Darkseid fully assembled. We'll get to him shortly. Here's the entire wave together. The Platinum Chase wave of the Justice League Task Force. Before we jump into Superman, let's take a look at some of the accessories. Each of the 4 figures comes with a display stand. Same one we've seen countless times before. And each of the figure has a collector's card. The exact same collector's card that came with the regular versions of these figures. They also have all of these energy effects. They're made of sort of a rubbery material. They have a lot of give to them, some bend. They're sort of semi-transparent, and they fit around their hands or their feet. Energy effects. Fighting game. Here are all 4 of these figures using the energy effects. Superman's hands are a little too big to hold them properly. The only one that really makes any sense is Aquaman's sort of water punch. Let's start off by looking at Superman. This is the mullet version from the 90s. The video game came out in the 90s, so it makes sense. This is done with the Crisis on Infinite Earth Superman body, which is a pretty nice body to use. It was actually the first figure to reuse that body. He looks so weird. The skin is like orange, the hair is red, the whole thing is sort of pixelated. Looks like an old school video game. And, they sort of achieved the desired result. I mean, I can kind of tell it's a video game figure, but boy, does that thing look bizarre. You see the different shading of yellow, orange, and red all over this guy. Dope jointed elbows, dope jointed knees, cloth soft goods cape with a wire in it. Very nice. But it looks like he's got some blood pressure problems or something. And a closer look at his face and head sculpt. It definitely looks weird. Here's the platinum version of the Justice League Task Force Superman next to the standard version. This one has pixelation all over it. It's a video game figure. I hope in the future they release this exact same figure with a regular paint job. This is a perfect mullet 90s Superman. They've now utilized the Crisis Superman body. It debuted with that figure 5 different times. Only part of it was used with the Page Puncher comic version of the Chris Reeve Superman, and I still need to get the platinum version of Shazam, but it's a fantastic base body for both Shazam and Superman. And here are all the recently released McFarlane Superman figures. 3 versions of the Chris Reeve Superman, 2 versions of the Justice League Task Force Superman, Action Comics Superman, and 2 versions of the Henry Cavill Batman vs Superman. Here's a look at Superman hovering above the skies of Metropolis. Now let's look at the Flash. This Flash is Wally West from the 90s. Barry Allen was quote-unquote dead at the time. Of course, it turned out he wasn't dead. He was lost in Speed Force. This guy used the Blue Beetle Booster Gold body, which is a pretty nice body for a Flash figure. He's totally in blue, so you can kind of use him as a Speed Force Flash. Starting with his face here, he looks pretty serious. Eyes are white. He's got that weird stuff on his forehead. He has the smallest amount of pixelation of all these figures. You can see a little bit around his Flash symbol there. You can tell it's a Blue Beetle body. The abs, the top part is so pronounced. It's very sort of noticeable. There we go. I'll fix that a little bit. He's got double jointed elbows, double jointed knees. Looks like the little sort of wings are not even on mine. Probably fix that with some hot water. Pretty weird looking variant. It's interesting how some are red or some are blue. I think they'd power up in different ways in the game. And a closer look at his face and head sculpt. Here's the platinum blue version of the Wally West Flash next to the regular version. Now this one has the least amount of pixelation of the entire wave. It makes for a really good standard Wally West Flash. It's probably the best Wally West Flash that I have, at least my favorite one, I think. It'd be nice if they made another release without the pixelation, and I'd say that's probably a sure thing in the distant future. Here are all the different Wally West figures that McFarlane has made. We have a total of 7 of them, 6 of which are the Flash, 1 is Kid Flash, and then here's a look at all the figures that utilize the Blue Beetle Booster Gold body. Still need to add the Platinum Mr. Terrific and Platinum Flash to this picture. Here's a close look at Wally West's face, Flash running right toward you, and a side view of the Flash running through the streets of Central City. Now let's look at Aquaman. He's got the majestic flowing hair that looks kind of weird. It's done on the Aquaman base body they made most of their comic Aquaman figures from. So let's take a look. Start with his face here. This weird Oompa Loompa blue type face. The hair is flowing in the water, the wind. Kind of has a white with a blue wash. It looks visually very interesting, but weird at the same time. He's got the scaly outfit on his torso. You can see the video game pixelation. Double jointed elbows, double jointed knees, a little fin on the back of his calf. And a closer look at his face and head sculpt. It's just weird is the only thing I can say. For so many different reasons. The hair, the skin, the color. Outside his trident, this thing is bent horribly from the package. It's pretty much a white trident, maybe a hint of blue. Serious bend here. Let's put in some hot water, see if we can straighten that out. Put it into some boiling water, let it cool down. Much improved. Here's Aquaman holding that trident. He can hold it with either one hand or with two. Here's a look at the platinum blue Aquaman next to the regular Task Force Aquaman. He has pixelation, but I really like the colors and the different tones on his chest and his outfit, at least on his torso. The hair is just weird, to say the least. Here are all the different McFarlane Aquaman figures that utilize that same base body, and these two use the same legs. Here are all the McFarlane DC Multiverse Aquaman figures. Here's a look at this Aquaman swimming through the waters of Atlantis. Now let's look at Batman. He's in a red suit. It's a lot darker red than the Superman. You could even sort of maybe say this is Batman in his anti-fire suit. This guy's done in the Nightfall body, the platinum version of the Justice League Task Force Batman. You can see the pixelation on his Batman symbol there. Coloring is very interesting. Dark red, orange, yellow. It's even on the utility belt a little bit. Capsule belt. His face is kind of the angry face. He has the same colors on his cowl. Dark red, red, orange, white eyes. Like I said, this is done on the Nightfall body. Double jointed elbows, double jointed knees. Cloth soft goods cape with a bendy wire in it. Overall, pretty cool, interesting looking release. I'd say he might be the best looking of the four figures. And a closer look at his face and head sculpt. Angry video game Batman. And then here he is, next to the regular version of the Task Force Batman. You can see the pixelation over him, weird shading. I love that color scheme. Just like the rest of the wave, I hope they release a Batman figure just like this, with a standard paint job in the future. In fact, they can do the entire wave, the same build-a-figure and everything, with regular 90s comic colors, and based off the Justice League Task Force comic series. Here are all the McFarlane figures that utilize the Nightfall Batman body. There are 18 of them so far, and I like pretty much all of them. I think it's a great base body. It's given us Clock King, Dr. Time, Earth 2 Robin, Catman, Dick Grayson Batman, and a bunch of Bruce Wayne Batman figures. Here's a look at this Batman on top of a rooftop overlooking Gotham City. And here's a look at this Batman in a fighting pose, fists up, ready to go. And now for Darkseid. This is the first time they've ever done a collector build-a-figure with a Platinum Chase variant. And it looks really weird. Big, red, angry Darkseid. Looks like Superman's been putting his heat vision all over him. It does look visually very pleasing. It's very interesting. His eyes are yellow, dark around them, very stern expression. This is the traditional looking Darkseid sculpt, but definitely not a paint job. He's got pixelation, yellow, orange, and red all over him. He's a little bit more in line with how the Superman color scheme is versus Batman. Biggest complaint about the original Darkseid is his articulation is very limited and stiff. He has single jointed elbows, and they only go about this far. Does have rotation. The torso only moves around about that far, forward and back a little bit. The legs, they only really go out that far, and forward and back barely at all. Double jointed knees. The Darkseid has less than standard articulation, and it's a little bit frustrating, but this one here is just a weird variant of that guy, and just kind of a cool thing to have. And a closer look at his face and head sculpt. The sculpt is great, paint job is weird. Here's the platinum version of Darkseid next to the original version. Now, the original version has a sort of darker, traditional Darkseid color scheme, except for the pixelation, which is kind of minimal on him. Once again, hope they release this whole wave in regular paint jobs. They all three use the same base body as the DC Classics Darkseid Mega figure. Here are all the different McFarlane DC Multiverse Darkseid figures. There are 6 of them, and really just 2 different base bodies. And here are all of my different Darkseid figures by McFarlane and DC Direct. Here he is, next to some other McFarlane DC Multiverse Darkseid stuff. We have the Darkfather, which is a Batman Darkseid hybrid. Darkseid's head on a pike when Omega killed him, and then Lex Luthor under control by Darkseid. Here's the Justice League approaching Darkseid on his planet Apocalypse. Every game has a final boss, and every final boss has his minions. A bunch of parademons come out to protect Darkseid. Darkseid orders his parademons to attack. Attack! Kill them! For Darkseid! Justice League springs into action. They all have their specialties, and they take on Darkseid and his army. You can see Aquaman using a trident, taking down a parademon. Here's Batman throwing his batarang. And then we have Flash using the Speed Force, taking out parademons one by one. And here's Superman using his heat vision. And since this Cyborg Superman is a Platinum Chase variant, I wanted to take a look at all the different McFarlane DC Multiverse Platinum Chase variants out there. Here are all the sort of older Platinum Chase variants. Gold, bronze, unpainted, and then some newer versions. And here's a look at some of the more modern Platinum Chase variants. I'm getting to be almost fully caught up. The only Platinum Chase variants I'm looking for right now are the Page Puncher Shazam and 2 of the Page Puncher animated Red Hood figures. If anyone out there has a lead on where I can get one for a reasonable price, or can possibly help me out, please drop my line comments below. It is much appreciated. So overall, this is a really weird Platinum Wave. Unless you're a completist like me, you probably won't want these figures. I can see a lot of people just seeing them and leaving them behind. I don't think they're very desirable. Batman is probably the coolest looking of the 4. Any normal person would not want these, but I went out of my way to find them. Like I said, very weird paint variations. It's a cool 90s wave, and I hope eventually they'll make a regular release like this. I like the video game versions. I like the Platinum versions. They have this weird sort of charm to them. They look like something out of Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory, Oompa Loompas, or I don't know what. One step closer to having a complete Platinum collection. So if you guys enjoyed this video, this is D Hunter. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to save the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you for watching this video, and I will talk to you guys real soon.